Test. We doing it, boys. We doing it, boys. Okay, the post has been made on Patreon. Okay. My audio okay? I see the chat. Hey! Brit! Thank you, Wada, for the Brit right when you came in. Oh, we're doing it. Let me fucking at everyone. Just so everybody knows. Everybody knows. Hey, everybody coming in. Coming in. Welcome. It's the Patreon. It's 7 o'clock. We are on time. Stream's looking healthy. People are filtering in. You know, start hitting me with questions whenever you guys want. And I will start to answering. Because I got nothing particular to talk about. Unless you guys start asking me shit. God, this light seems particularly bright today. I wonder if there's a way I can... No. I could turn it off, but, you know. Disabling comments on all videos when? Probably when the Makoto Shinkai video comes out. I think I'm going to disable comments on that one. And we'll go from there. I think it's about that time. I think it's time to take charge. And fucking go for it. And just see how it goes. I think there's going to be a lot of flack. There's going to be a lot of people complaining. But hopefully I won't see those complaints because I won't be reading comments or Twitter. So that's going to be kind of my method, is to sort of drop this neutron bomb of disabling comments. And then, you know, because like the whole point of disabling comments is that I don't see them. So it would be pointless if people had other ways to reach me to complain about it, you know? That's the funniest thing to me about every time I close comments on a video, is people finding somewhere else to leave the comment about how pissed off they are that I disabled the comments. And I'm like, here, maybe if I move the camera so that my head is blocking the light. That's a little better. You know, people find... just go to another video to complain about it, and I'm like, why do you think I disabled comments? It was so I wouldn't have to read comments on this video. You're making it... I can't move that over there, because then it especially looks like I'm not looking up at the camera. What am I drinking? I'm drinking a Mountain Dew. I've gotten back on the Mountain Dew wagon, because there ain't no Wawa green tea up here in Rochester. And I haven't found any other drink that I like enough to consume regularly. But I haven't been gaining the weight back because I've been more physically active. So I'm maintaining a clean 175 area, I think. I haven't stepped on the scale in a few days. But what's a snack food you miss? What do you mean by miss? I still eat snack food. I don't think I've given up any snack foods. There's some that I miss enjoying, like that I don't enjoy anymore, maybe, but I don't know. I don't know if there's one I would qualify as a snack food I miss. Like, there's nothing that was like for sale in Virginia Beach that isn't here aside from Wawa green tea. There hasn't been any snacks I've been missing out on. First question, isn't it cool that 9 is basically Sana from Alice to Zoryoku? Yeah, that's an interesting point, Wada, when you brought that up in your video, that girl is basically the same type of character. It's definitely interesting to think, though I think you might be taking it from a fairly broad approach to saying that they're the same character, since in 9's case, she literally created the caretaker person who's watching over her. But, you know, it's an interesting similarity, to be sure. Carter and Munson Rings. The last time I asked Digi about his thoughts on prog rock, since prog is a very wild things, I figured to get a better sense of Digi's thoughts on it, I'll ask about individual bands whenever there's a lull in questions. Yeah, go ahead. I mean, I can't promise I'll know that many prog rock bands. You know, I tend to not know a lot of bands that are like only beloved by people who like that genre. Like, most of the bands I like are bands that don't really fit cleanly into one genre, and you know, like, there's no genre that I favor so much that I'll just listen to anything that's in it. Like, I know a lot of people who like prog just listen to prog, and they'll listen to anything that's a prog band, even though to me it all sounds exactly the fucking same, you know? Like, there's very few prog bands who actually sound different enough that I'm into them. But we'll see. Besides up to 11, since I can easily imagine you liking it, what tropes do you like the most if done well? Tropes that I like the most, I mean, if they're done well, any trope can be good. Up to 11 is a good trope. God, it's been a while since I've, like, read TV tropes, so I don't know if I could, like, give you exact ones. I definitely like apocalypse scenes, like scenes of mass destruction and the end of the world if they're done well. The director Rintaro has a lot of those that I've been watching some of his movies lately. I was thinking about making a compilation video of all the scenes of the world getting destroyed in his movies. I don't know where I'd post it, though, if I did that, but I might. And, oh god, other tropes I really like. There's nothing that's, like, a lot of people will answer this with, like, oh, when they play the opening theme in the last episode, and I don't know, I'm less of a fan of that, I think, than most people, just because, like, I don't always like the opening theme, you know? So in terms of those kinds of, like, structural things, there's not, like, one that gets me super hype and excited that, like, every time a show does it, I'm like, oh, they're doing the trope that I love. If anything, I hope that they disguise it so well I don't notice they're doing a trope that I'm, you know, well aware of. Wada says, instead of disabling comments, do what Total Biscuit did, put it on, only comments that are approved are shown, and then just never look in the community tab. This way the comments are disabled. That's an interesting idea. The only reason I never did that is because I didn't want to have to go and, like, sort through the comments to, you know, to pick ones that I like. But if I just never went in that tab, I suppose that would be similar to, not, you know, just having comments closed. That's an interesting thought. I'll consider that. Although that would encourage people to just leave comments on the video instead of going to the discussion place. I don't know if Total Biscuit has a discussion place. Any plans for growth after comments are disabled? Total Biscuit has said it affects growth negatively. That's what I've heard all the time. I don't really care that much. Like, I'm not exactly doing things to grow my channel anyways. Like, the Digibro channel is pretty fucking stagnant, and, like, the plans I have going forward are not going to help it, like, from a YouTube growth standpoint. Like, I'm just planning to make good, long videos, and, you know, make them when they're fucking good and done. I don't really care about expanding by, like, being a YouTuber guy anymore, you know? I'm kind of over that, that whole idea. I don't think it works well with my content style. You know, even though I am a human content machine, I don't think I can pump out regular content that will be statistically healthy for YouTube content, you know? So rather than that, I'm just going to kind of do whatever I want. And as for comments being closed, I mean, I've done it on videos before, and like the Gurren Lagann versus Kill La Kill thematic rundown video had comments closed from the beginning, and it did perfectly fine. It was one of my biggest videos, so I don't think it's as big of a hurt as, like, people might say it is. Like, it probably matters a lot more if you're a bigger channel. So for the record, Patreon still gives me $20 access, probably until the end of the month, even though I have technically unpledged, and I only unpledged because I need my money more than you do, IMO. Yeah, that's probably fair. Yeah, it should be that if you've paid for that month, you have access throughout the month. I think that's how it works. So, you're still welcome here, at least till the end of the month. Can I be your personal mansion assistant? I study Harajuku. I have the knowledge. I don't own a mansion, though, so I don't need any mansion assistants just yet. Is this a good beat to you? It's from one of the songs I always put in a playlist with your songs, since it reminds me of your music. Oh, you've linked me a fucking... Am I going to have to actually listen to whatever this is? Am I supposed to be getting an Overwatch video or this Watsky video? I've gotten like 3 results. I'm assuming you mean the Watsky song. This just sounds like a pretty normal trap beat. Yeah, I wouldn't really compare that to my stuff. I'd say it's a pretty normal, just like regular ass trap beat. I mean, I do rap over some beats sort of like that, especially when, like, if you were comparing it to like the Asperger diss track, that would be a similar beat to that. But that's just something I found on YouTube and ripped. Deji, what are your thoughts on the high number of fans that are on the LGBT spectrum? I ran a poll recently, and the majority of your active fans are either bi, trans, or gay. I mean, I don't consider that particularly surprising. I think I appeal to that crowd pretty strongly. If you've been listening to Digi in May, you may know that I recently began self-identifying as somewhat gender fluid. And I think that that's always been kind of apparent in my content, which is, I mean, like, I even came to that conclusion just because of people having speculated it about me and made me think about it. And there was like a whole bunch of people going like, oh yeah, I totally think he's that. I mean, I've always been sort of vocally in favor of that community, and I've had lots of friends in that community. The brony community was overwhelmingly gay and trans. So I can't say it's too surprising. Like, I think like-minded people sort of flock together, and that's why those kinds of people would be following me. If you said every comment section needs approval, I think you could set specific people to a whitelist. If that's true, that is really interesting. Total Biscuit has a Reddit for discussion. He says people who leave comments seeing that they are most likely gone are just reactionary, and he does not want their comments. If you matter, you go to Reddit. Yeah, I think I'll do that. That sounds like a great idea. Oh, you meant to type fashion instead of mansion. Your personal fashion assistant. I don't know if I need a fashion assistant. I mean, I don't know if I want to dress any differently from how I currently do. The only, like, the reason I don't dress fashionably is not just out of, like, not understanding how, but also out of, I don't believe in my body type, you know? Like, I think I look good in the clothes that I wear currently, and that if I looked different, I might be able to wear other types of fashion, but, you know. Ever plan on making an anime of I wrote this light novel in like a day? No, I don't. How would I make an anime of that? What do you mean by plan on? Like, how could I possibly plan on making an anime? That is so far beyond the scope of anything I'm remotely capable of that there's no way I could plan on making an anime. No, I have no plans. The title is a joke, and there's no way to adapt that thing into an anime. Not in any kind of reasonable, sensible way. Wada says, I have another thought about Solanine. I think it might be the closest thing to your My Dream anime about the band you made a random vlog about. I'm about halfway through reading Solanine, Wada, and I totally disagree, and I don't even know how you think that, because it doesn't remind me of that story in the slightest. I mean, to me, the musical part of that manga is like it's not really explored at all. Like, it doesn't really talk about, like, you never even really learn what kind of music they're performing, you know? My dream anime story, the actual style of music was very important to it, and it's you know, more about music than any of the, like, other cute girl. Also, it's supposed to be a cute girl show, so I don't know how it even resembles Solanine. Munchie needs to be your fashion assistant. Munchie already is my fashion assistant. Got any thoughts on the Yuasa Devilman anime coming out in January? I really hope it's good. Like, I don't know exactly what it's gonna be. Like, the trailers have not shown me enough for me to, like, understand it. Like, I don't know how much it's gonna be like an actual adaptation of the Devilman manga, and how much it's just gonna be like weird, crazy shit. Like, the Devilman manga does not at all resemble Masaaki Yuasa's style of either writing or directing. Like, everything he's done so far has been pretty similar, like, both stylistically and in the script. And Devilman is nothing like those. So, like, I have to imagine he's taking it in a whole new direction. I have to imagine he's doing his own thing with Devilman. And I mean, there's like 1,000 Devilman spin-offs, so that wouldn't surprise me at all. The next Manga Mondays is about a Devilman spin-off, in fact, called Devilman G. But I hope it will be dope. Thoughts on King Crimson? I like King Crimson. They are pretty great. My favorite King Crimson album is Discipline. My second favorite is In the Court of the Crimson King. Those are the two I listen to by far the most. I used to listen to Beat all the time as well. Back like 10 years ago, because that was the first one I had downloaded on my computer. Yeah, I like King Crimson. Because they have a shitload of albums, and I don't really listen to all of them. It's mostly like those ones I just named. And even then, they're not like always in my rotation or anything like that. But I do generally like their music a lot. I probably listened to them more when I was younger and I was more into prog. Made in Abyss weekly finale when? Funnily enough, it was supposed to be made yesterday. Nate and I were supposed to watch the whole show early that morning and record the episode at 4 p.m. And what happened was, I went out at about 10:30 to go buy a TV because it was Black Friday. I wanted a new TV. You can see my new TV right over. You can't really get a good shot of it, but this big ass 40-inch screen over here, that's my new TV. And because May works at Target, so they have Black Friday deals. I could even get her employee discount on it. So I went in and bought this big ass TV. And then I was like, immediately just like swept up in the Black Friday hype, and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go on a shopping spree and go like check all the prices everywhere and like see what all the deals are. So I spent literally all fucking day doing Black Friday deals. It was mostly inspired by the fact that, you know, it was only like 10:30 or 11 or so when I went to get the TV. Something like that. No, it had to be later than that. It was probably around 12, actually. It was around 12. I went to get the TV, and May says to me, oh, I'm going to take lunch at 2, so if you're still in the area, let's go have lunch together. So I decided to hang out around the general area of Target, going to different stores and checking all their Black Friday deals. And so basically I was out until like 4:30 or 5. And then I came home and I assembled the TV and I turned on the Wii U, and because I bought a Wii U, and the Wii U had Mario Kart 8 like on it, like they had installed it. And so I was playing Mario Kart, and like 6:30 rolls around and I check my phone, and there's like a text from Nate like, hey bro, where are you? And I was like, oh fuck, I haven't even watched the last 6 episodes yet. So we had to delay it until tomorrow, because today is a PCP day, so, you know, Nate's busy all day doing various recordings. I think he was just live streaming earlier, actually. I'm not sure, because he had a notification that he'd be live streaming at 5 p.m. or something like that. That can't be right, because the PCP would have run into 5 p.m. When was Nate's live stream scheduled for? It says today at 5 p.m. Maybe he's Yo, you know what? He's in Ohio time. Even then, it would be started by now. Looks like he forgot. Or maybe PCP ran long. I'm going to see if PCP is still going. It's not still going, so I don't know why he's not live streaming right now. But anyway, he had a bunch of shit to do today, so tomorrow, maybe, will be the Made in Abyss finale. I know you watched Tokyo Godfathers for your 700th anime, but you never put out any thought about it in detail. What'd you think of the movie, other than just liking it because you said you did that? I don't have any deep thoughts about it. I just thought it was really fun. I mean, it's kind of it's a very breezy, fun romp of a movie, you know, that sort of gets more interesting as it goes along and you learn more about the characters and their pasts, and as it gets like crazier, where there's like that big ramp up in tension in like the dinner scene where like suddenly you're in a spy movie and it's like, holy shit. And though I will say that the ending, when it got a little bit too magical for me, like I don't know, I felt like it was weird to go that extra step into the realm of like the magical, and to draw attention to that fact. But I mean, it's kind of one of those things where it's like, why not? You know, like they might as well have done that, but then it just wasn't really as much my thing. But nonetheless, I still had a lot of fun with that movie. Since your taste is a bit more strange, have you heard about Azure Emote? I have not. Y'all can't keep linking me these YouTube things. How am I supposed to watch these while I'm in the middle of fucking doing a live stream? I got so many windows open. All right. Let's see what this is. The Living Spiral. Sounds like... It sounds like Unexpect. I'm not super into that particular sound of prog metal where it's like just all kinds of insane shit. Although I do like Psy a lot. But Psy has that unique brand of like Japanese fun that I don't think the other bands in that style do. But I mean, that's based on literally 10 seconds of listening just now. I might give them another shot sometime. But they sound a lot like Unexpect. Favorite Souls boss, including Bloodborne, if you want. My favorite from Bloodborne is Cagehead Boy. What the fuck is his name? Cos. Or some say Cosm. Do you hear our prayers? Or whatever he says. What's his name? Like, I can't remember his fucking name, but he's the best guy. From the Souls games, though, like my favorite to fight or my favorite thematically, because he's my favorite, like, in terms of the idea of the boss. In terms of like who's the most fun to fight, I don't know, because I don't really use much strategy when I fight a Souls boss. I just kind of go in overpowered and kill them. Well, the second half of Soloni is a bit more about their music. I'm pretty sure they played J-Rock, Think Samba Master. I think it was just similar because about a post-college age band. Yeah, I mean, that's a very loose similarity, but I figured they probably play like some shit that sounds like like Asian Kung Fu Generation or something like that, you know, just some like pretty generic J-Rock shit. Good bad news. It's confirmed full manga adaptation run through the U.S. a filter. The designs of the main character seem strange as the OG look fit the narrative much more, but I guess we will see. Yeah, if it's really a full-blown adaptation of Devilman, I'm extremely curious, because that would be nothing like anything U.S. has done before. Yeah, I do already have Devilman G, but go ahead and send that Captain Harlock manga. I haven't checked my P.O. box since the last Digi Gets Mail video. I keep forgetting. I should have done that today. I'll probably do it tomorrow, because I expect there's probably a bunch of shit in there. Thoughts on Kansas? I love Carry On My Wayward Son, but that is the only Kansas song I know. Do you plan to do the dropped FOF anytime soon? What do you mean the dropped FOF? What does that mean? Like a dropped list finish or fail? Because I don't have any plans for that. I have plans for an on hold finish or fail. Yo, Mario Kart 8 Wii U meetup when? Probably never. I'm not a huge fan of Mario Kart 8. Like, I was playing it and I don't know, it just feels really slow and like Mario Kart frustrates the shit out of me. By the way, Anime Everyday made a video also heavily featuring Shinkai the other day. Everyone is sneaking at it now, man. All I gotta say about that is, look, I announced mine weeks ago, so if anyone wants to talk shit, you know, I told everybody I was making a Shinkai video. And those guys are probably both making theirs because Your Name came out on Blu-ray. I know that's why Funimation apparently, like, asked Jeff to make one. I just happened to decide to finally do it at this particular juncture. Hey Digi, how do you handle a huge project? The prospect of working on a short film feels overwhelming to me when I look at everything that needs to be done. You just gotta fucking go at it, man. You gotta find a good in. Like, find a starting point that's easy, like, and then just get the ball rolling, you know? Like, I usually try to, if I can boil things down to, like, a checklist, and then find out what the easiest part of it is and do that, and then, like, it just kind of rolls from there, and that makes it easier to just, like, bowl through everything, you know? Because once you're started, you're in. You just gotta get that in. What's your favorite Christmas thing to do? Drink and smoke weed. That's what I've done the last 2 Christmases, and it's been great. After watching Bao, are you more interested in reading the JoJo manga? Not really. I mean, Bao, first of all, Bao was a lot worse than JoJo. It was not necessarily, like, I didn't, like, enjoy it a whole bunch. Like, it was okay. I mostly just liked that it was violent and, kind of neat. I gave it, like, a 6, I think, on Mal. But it was okay. I've read the first part of the JoJo manga way back. Mikolash, thank you. But no. Bao gave me no greater interest in JoJo than what I already had, having watched tons of JoJo and read the first part of it. Thoughts on post-Revolver Beatles? Probably the better Beatles era? Like, that's the one that I know songs from. I don't know any of the early shit. If you have not played the BB DLC, by the way, you should. I don't remember you mentioning it or not. I did. I played up to... I could not beat Orphan of Coast, but I did the rest of the DLC. The only Souls... I still haven't played... I never actually beat the Dark Souls 1 DLC. So I still haven't done that. I never played the Dark Souls 3 DLC at all. But I believe I played through the Bloodborne DLC, but couldn't beat Kos and gave up. And I think I played... well, Demon Souls didn't have any, and I never played Dark Souls 2 very far. So yeah. But I did play the Bloodborne one. I watched Ringing Bell recently and found myself feeling incredibly hype instead of depressed. Is something wrong with me? No, I think that's a natural... I think that's how May was feeling. Like, I mean, I would say I was hyped, too. Like, it was hype watching him grow up and become a badass. Like, the moment that he becomes, like, the epic dude that he is like, fucking great. And, you know, when the wolf dies and everything, all that shit is fucking hype. It was just so unexpected that nothing good happens in the movie, you know? But I would definitely say it's a pretty hype film. Fuck, I went on hold. Is that something that will be happening in the near future? I don't know how near, but hopefully, yeah. I mean, that's what I want Finish or Fail to eventually just be. Like, you know, we're trying to finish off the ones that we had, the light side list. But we've been moving really slow on it because, you know, we've been busy, and I just haven't been that enthusiastic about watching new anime. I'm way more interested in watching old shit. But, once we, like, the plan was, as soon as the current iteration of Finish or Fail is over, the on hold one would become a thing. But, you know, I'm totally, like, rewriting all my schedules for the next month currently, so I don't know what it'll be. Fuck, marry, kill Tsukuyomi Komoe, Tsunemori Akane, and Ito Nobue. Fuck Akane. She's the hottest. Marry Nobue and kill Komoe. Probably. That makes the most sense. What things are you pleased or displeased with how the Discord is going at the moment? It's been a solid time now since it opened. Okay, the fact that there is ever drama whatsoever in the Discord is definitely a problem. I don't like the idea of it ever becoming a clique. I don't want it to be the same people in there all the time just becoming pals. And I hope that if that does happen, people will go make other groups to talk to their friends. Because the thing about the Discord is that it's an open Discord for all of my patrons. Any new patrons I get in the future can come right in. And I want it to be open and accepting to all those people. I don't want the people who've been there from the beginning to set the sort of ground rules of what the tone is, and then everybody else has to conform to that when they join, you know? And so, like, I'm kind of hoping that if people feel like they want to have, like, that tight-knit community feeling, they take it to another server and, like, you know, because that's usually what happens anyways in a big forum, is that people who become friends go and sort of, you know, make their own separate little place to hang out. I just don't want it to be like a friendly hangout zone too much. And that's why, the general chat I don't really pay much attention to, and I think it's the one that's at the most risk of this. And the voice chat is by far the most risky thing in there to become that. But, like, there's a reason that it's, like, anime discussion, Digibro content discussion, music discussion. I want people to discuss those things. I don't want people to discuss each other. I don't want people to just be like, you know, I mean, you can discuss each other to some extent. Like, I'm not being ridiculous about it, but, like, I just don't want it to become cliquish and for people to have little groups that they participate in and, like, you know, and are mad at other groups or anything like that. I don't want infighting. I want it to be as broad and open as possible, and if you don't like it, you know, make your own community. This is the place to discuss Digibro content. Like, that's the main purpose of it, is to discuss my content and, you know, to have a place to talk about anime with people who have a similar perspective to you, you know? So I think it's run pretty well so far. It's just that it has signs of going in a direction I don't want it to go. But I think I've done a good job of sort of reining it in from becoming that way. And, you know, I also think it is a big time sink. Like, it is a lot of fun when I do get, like, into an interesting conversation in there. But as someone trying to get further away from social media, it's not exactly helping with that, you know? Anyway. Overall, I'd say I'm pretty happy with it. It's gone a lot better than I imagined it would. I thought it would be something that I might close down in 2 weeks because I hated it, you know? Thoughts on Nightwish and Camelot? I've never listened to either of them. Any plans to try any new drugs? Hopefully. I don't have any, like, immediate plans. I don't think we're going to be doing that super soon because May's extremely busy. But, you know, it could happen. When you come to Atlanta, IMO best econ collab you could do is a more relaxed commentary track like the ones on Patreon, focused on being informative and detail spotting rather than argumentative. I disagree. You cannot do something non-argumentative with econ. And if we tried to do a commentary, it will get derailed immediately, because a conversation with econ is a long conversation about one specific detail. Like, the first time that he and I met in Atlanta, he was basically hitting me with your K-On! Video. This was the K-On! The Ultimate Adaptation had just come out, that video. And he was arguing with me that it was a bad video because of the fact that K-On! Is not a good adaptation. It is a good show, but it, like, doesn't really capture the spirit of the manga because it changes the spirit of the manga. And it took a long time for us to argue out to the point of just basically agreeing that it was semantics and that he just has a different definition of what a good adaptation is than what I do. And that was like half an hour of arguing to get to that result, you know? Like, if Econ and I do anything, it's gonna be debate. Like, that is the kind of comments, the kind of content we could do together. And he's huge into that. Like, he loves debate shows and stuff like that. So, thoughts on Rush? I grew up with Rush. My dad was a big Rush fan. I like Hemispheres, Moving Pictures, 2112. You know, those are like the classics. Don't really care for any of their other albums, TBH. And even on those ones, it's very song by song. What games have you been playing recently other than Dark Gauntlet? I mean, Gauntlet Dark Legacy. God. I have been playing... This will probably come up in the next 2 weeks' review once I'm hopefully done with it. Ow. Fuck. I've been playing Shadow Hearts Covenant for the PS2, a JRPG. And I've been skipping all the cutscenes, and it's been a good time. I'm also playing a whole litany of Wii U games, since I just bought, like, every Wii U game there is yesterday. So, I've played a little Mario Kart, I've played a little Super Smash Bros., I've played a little Captain Toad, I've played a little Donkey Kong Country Tropical Freeze. And I think those are all the ones I've actually put in so far, which is, you know, a lot for a day. But some of those were very brief sessions. How can I convince you and May to watch all of Sailor Moon with a guide that cuts out all the shit eps and fillers? Give me that guide, and that will happen. May has seen a lot of Sailor Moon. I don't know how much of it she's seen, but she's got a Sailor, Pluto poster that we've got up. You might have seen that in our house. She definitely likes Sailor Moon a lot, and so it would not be hard to convince us, especially if we have an episode guide. Pokemon manga, yay or nay? Definitely yay. Pokemon manga's solid. I've got the first 2 volumes of it in my collection. Do you prefer to consume any and all media together, even beyond watching stuff for FRF, or do you like to read some things on your own at times? I'm assuming schedule plays a big part. Do you and May prefer to consume any and all media together? Almost yes. Like, the only stuff I don't really like consuming with May is stuff I'm not sure will be good. Like, on my 70s and 80s anime list, like, most of the stuff that I watch by myself is stuff that, like, I either don't think she'll like, or, like, the reason I'm watching it is not because I think it'll be good, but because it's, like, historically important, and I just want it as, like, a data point, you know? But she and I have almost the exact same tastes, so, like, when we do watch media together, it's usually for the better, you know? It's definitely, like, when she's not home, I consume less media, except for, like, video games. So, I mean, like, single-player games I play by myself, because she's not going to sit there and watch me play a video game, you know, and I'm not going to sit there and watch her play a video game. Sometimes we'll play single-player games together, like, she'll play Pokemon while I'm playing something else. So, yeah, pretty much all single-player games I do by myself. Manga is not easy to read, you know, 2 at a time. So, basically, anything that makes sense to be done with 2 people, we will probably do with 2 people. Guns asks, are 80s and 90s OVAs more inviting because they're mostly single-sitting 45 to 90-minute films instead of 12, 24-episode shows? I don't know if more inviting is... I mean, I tend to not value shorter stuff that much. Like, a lot of those OVAs will just kind of pass right through me. It does make it easier to, like, marathon them, though. Like, part of why I've been into movies and OVAs lately is that I just want to consume, like, a lot of different things and, like, just see all kinds of unique, you know, stuff that's out there. So while none of it is probably likely to be, like, my all-time favorite thing, because, you know, generally I like stuff that's in the range of 26 episodes. Like, go down my favorites list, and aside from Ponyo, you know, you've got K-On!, which is 39 episodes, Psycho Pass is 22, Ghost in the Shell Standalone Complex is 50, Shirobako's 26, Gurren Lagann's 26, Kill la Kill's 24, Log Horizon was 26 at the time. So like basically Karekano's 26. Pretty much all of the shows I like are longer because it really gives you time to flesh out the story and like get into the heads of the characters and everything and like explore more ideas. So, inviting in terms of like getting to blitz through them, yes, but in terms of like being something I'm more excited about, not necessarily. But they are great for, I will say though, they are great for being high. Like generally when we watch stuff while high, I try to avoid like TV shows because they just don't look good enough. Like all the problems with shows become more apparent, especially if you're watching anything even slightly generic. Like a lot of the cute girls shows I know and love, I cannot watch under the influence of marijuana because it's too slow and too, like too much of the same old shit, you know? Whereas if I watch some like crazy ass 80s movie, then it's just gonna blow my mind, you know? Do you prefer ever-changing song structures or songs that while having a narrative to them occasionally repeat ideas throughout? That's too broad of a question for me to know exactly what you mean, but I definitely like ever-changing song structures. Like that is a thing I'm a big fan of. I don't know what you mean by occasionally repeating ideas throughout. Like that sounds not that different from having an ever-changing song structure if it's like mostly not the same. How much Mountain Dew is too much to drink in a single day? A whole box is too much. I feel like the Discord has been pretty good at being inviting with only a couple big cases of people not being accepted. Yeah, I think for the most part it's been fine. But, I just worry. I worry about it not being, because it's the kind of thing where it's hard for me to like have a lot of control over it because it's a bunch of individuals in a community, and like I simultaneously want to protect my interests in running it the way I want it to be run, but also the interests of people paying to be a part of it, you know? So like it's not easy to find a happy medium between all of that, but you got me to listen to Hybrid Theory underway for 2 weeks straight, and I want more albums like it. Suggestions. Oh, boy. I mean, there's not quite anything like Hybrid Theory. That's kind of what made it special, was that it was, like... Because there's a lot of nu metal that's sort of similar. Like, rap metal was a big thing at the time, but none of it really emphasized the rap element as much as that did, and most of it was way edgier. So, like... early Slipknot was like, had that same kind of mix of like heavy metal sound and rap verses, but it was way more like aggressive and angry and edgy. And then their later albums kind of got away from that and became just a little bit more rock focused. They didn't really have as much of the hip hop element. Most of them were fucking shit. I mean, Disturbed's The Sickness is along the same lines. I still think that album holds up okay, but, Hybrid Theory was pretty unique. What even happened to Brain Space, man? How'd they go from Penguin Drum / Bakano to BLB Train? I think everybody left. I think the talent left. Like, I think at some point they couldn't make good shows anymore, and the people who wanted to make good shows just absconded. Because, like... That's what Studio Shuka is like brains-based producers who went to go make a new studio so they can make do-da-da-da, And they've also got Natsume Yujincho and, some of the other stuff that used to be at Brainspace. And they seem to have the director, the guy who did both of those shows, who was, like the guy at Brainspace. So, yeah, I think just the talent left, and now they're just a husk. Kind of like Gynax. How Gynax doesn't really do anything anymore because everybody who had ideas is gone. I know you've given your blanket thoughts on Gundam /79 before, but since you've been in an older anime kick, have you considered maybe revisiting some of the entries in the franchise? Probably. I could see it happening, though I've been like specifically watching stuff I haven't seen before. So, if I came across something I hadn't seen, I would probably more likely to give that a shot. Thoughts on Jethro Tull? I've never really listened to them. I only know Aqualung. But I don't even know that song that well. Okay. Oh, also, possible video idea, B-Train retrospective. Thoughts on a studio from the only guy who cared about how shit they were. I, may already have plans for something akin to that in the near future. Not quite on B-Train, but on the creator. What are your plans for music after Well Laid and Well Paid? I mean, I'm not even close to doing Well Laid and Well Paid yet. People keep asking me about that because, like, that's supposed to be my next, like, main album. But, like, the concept I have for what I want that album to be is beyond the scope of what I can do. And currently, no one's making me beats. Like, Blind Skywatcher's been off doing his own thing with his Uncle Jesse group. Shade hasn't been producing shit. I don't really have any other connections. I don't have time to learn how to produce the kind of music that I want to perform over. And I've had ideas about how to structure the album, but it would be a lot. Like, it'll take a lot of time and effort to make that album real, because I have a very specific idea of what I want it to be. So Well Laid and Well Paid is not even on the docket yet. It's not even close to being in the works, which is fine. It's kind of funny because I guess I'm the human content machine and everything, so people are, like, expecting me to have another album lined up, but, like, I released 4 fucking albums this year. Like, I've released vastly more music than most people would in a year. I mean, if you put out an album every year, you are a highly prolific artist, you know? And I've put out 4, so, like, I don't feel any rush to make another album soon. I've just been kind of dicking around with meme shit when I feel like it in the meantime. Any chance of getting back to Kingdom Hearts 2? The opening is a slog. If Nate sits me down and forces me, then I'll do it. What 2 YouTubers that are not Fantano? That is an interesting spelling of Fantano, by the way. Or PCP are you most into at the moment? Who is putting out good shit? Let me go to my fucking subscriptions and see who I would consider to be putting out good shit. Like, I watch all kinds of shit, but, oh god, I'm signed into After Dark. It's not my usual subscriptions. Okay. Oh, fuck. No one's putting out, like, the best shit in the world right now. Like, the last time a YouTube video blew my mind, other than, like, you know, the PCP members, like, Endless Jest still puts out great stuff when he actually puts out a video, which Plebe and the Weeb, you know, is going great currently. Best Guy Ever's been doing good work, but that's, you know, those are PCP guys. I mean, Fantano doesn't even make good videos. I just watch all of them, because I just like him. But, like, who's putting out good shit? Razor Fist. Razor Fist has been consistently good with his vlogs. He's always got something interesting to talk about. And for the opposite side of the table, H-Bomber guy has been pretty fun. I watch a lot of Hip Hop DX. Nothing's good. Nothing's good on YouTube right now. Everything's just shit I throw on in the background. Like, I watch hours of YouTube content, like, every day, but it's all just in the background. I watch Vic and Hope, you know, when I wake up. I can't think of the last time, like, outside of an Endless Jest video, that I was, like, legitimately impressed at the end of a YouTube video, since maybe, like, the Ghostbusters Mr. Plinkett video, you know? Having had to do catch up on your content over the past month since I was underway, I had to prioritize what content of yours I thought was more important to see right off. Curious if you have a hierarchy of your own content. I do, but that would be, like, you know what? Just go to my content roundups. Every content roundup is organized by how good I think the videos are, or, like, how relevant I think they are to the broadest audience. So, literally, if you look at my content roundups, they are all tiered. They're all organized that way. So yeah, that's how you can figure out the hierarchy of my content. It used to be, if you look at the old content roundups back when it was, like, once a month, or once every couple of months, they were, like, extensively tiered. Like, I would give everything, like, a rating of how important it was versus the next thing. But now that I do it weekly, I just kind of vaguely organize them from best to worst. Okay. Docs Google. Am I supposed to click on that? Oh, is that for the, is that the Sailor Moon thing? That did not work. That did not open anything at all. So, You might just be better off sending me that on Discord in the live stream conversation thing. Oops, I keep fucking... It's so hard to organize all the fucking windows when you're live streaming. Why did Maid Dragon have to be a 9.5? Can it be a 9.4 so I can keep dreaming that Guru Guru has a chance? I don't know. Why would that give it... Why would it being a 9.4 instead mean that it has a chance? Like, why can't Guru Guru just be a 9.6 or something? I don't... Digi makes May crazy about Hidamari's sketch when? Someday. It'll definitely happen. Anything we can do to avoid Discord becoming cliquish? Just, like, if people start becoming friends, just, like, make other Discords. Like, if you feel as though this Discord is not facilitating what you want it to facilitate, then do not try to change the Discord to fit your needs. Just go make another one, you know? Like, it is what it is. It should always be this way. And I don't want people to be like, you know, telling newcomers like, oh, you can't act that way. Like, this is how we act around here. It's like, no. I decide how we act around here, you know? Best thing about the VCs on Discords have been our movie nights. Yeah, that kind of stuff is why I want there to be a voice chat there. Like, I think that kind of stuff's cool. Now that I would think it is eaten, what was the best Swedish candy? We have not eaten much of it. I don't know where I would find an opportunity to eat a bunch of candy. Like, I don't generally eat much candy. So I've just kind of got it all there, and I'm like, I don't know what to do. Usually when I get food in the mail, I share it with my family, but in this case, it's just me and May, and we barely ever eat at home, and we don't even eat our own groceries in time for them to not go bad. So I'll let you know when I've actually eaten them. What's something Disney you like? I know you were complaint about it because of your ex. I like Lilo and Stitch a lot. I liked Frozen, but I've gotten tired of it because it's over fucking played. Ratatouille, I mean, that's Pixar, but I love that movie. Oh shit, right, is Smoking Gun a WLWP song, or what is that? Just some love song? It's a strange song of your usual style. I found it really awkward to listen to. The flow was worse than normal. It has nothing to do with Well Laid and Well Paid. Smoking Gun is not related to that album at all. It's basically I've got a bunch of these beats that are based in anime soundtrack songs, kind of like emotional anime raps that I just wanted to rap over. And that song was just, I really wanted to rap over the song from Golgo 13, Queen Bee. So I came up with something, and that's what it was. And May likes it, and that's all that really matters. CGP Great is great, but he doesn't upload often. Agreed. ContraPoints is fine. I haven't been watching much ContraPoints lately because I just am sick of politics, so but I need to catch up on it. Thoughts on the recent Tommy Oliver situation, living in a car for a few months, etc., not knowing if he wants to keep the new flow going. I didn't know he had made that public yet, but yeah, I hear he's going to be living in a car, and he seems to be really excited about it. Like, he seems to see it as, if I live in a car, I don't have to keep up appearances anymore. So he's just going to live off of PCP money and do 3D graphic arts from the back of his car. I told him he can come stay in my garage. He can come park his car at my house. He can sleep on my couch if he wants. I think he's going to probably, come with everybody else to Atlanta with his car when the time comes. So, Tom's a good boy. I could deal with living with him. When will you ban Wada for his crimes against food and cooking? Probably never. Not for those reasons. Any good anime blogger still going? No. I don't know any good... there's ones who are good, but I don't read them. Like, I don't read Wave Motion or Sakuga. I just am never interested in what they're talking about. And there was AJ the Fourth of For Me in Full Bloom. She's still active, but she's always talking about current shows. There's no one blogging anime who I read anymore. It's really quite sad. Have you ever thought of opening up a video idea bag for patrons? Something for people to suggest topics for you to talk about. Not with an expectation that you have to talk about any of them, but just to have it. I mean, I feel like people are just going to tell me their ideas anyways. Like, I'm constantly hit with people's ideas for shit. So, I don't think that would be necessary. I don't know if I want to encourage that behavior, you know? But maybe. Maybe a channel in the Discord for that. Super Eye Patch Wolf has one. Because I'd probably never do any of them. So, like, people would just be like, why is this here? You never do these. And I'd be like, yeah, that's true. But some of them could inspire me. Like, when I come online and ask people for ideas, which I do, sometimes I go on Twitter and ask for ideas, sometimes I go on the Discord and ask for ideas, I never use any of the ideas. I just get ideas from reading them. Like, I'm reading them, and then something completely unrelated clicks in my mind, and I finally know what I'm gonna do. But, like, I almost never actually use ideas people post. So, I mean, you can send me ideas if you feel like it, but don't expect much. Are you getting winter tires for the car soon? I don't want you dying. I don't know what winter tires are, and I don't know how much they cost. So, I don't intend on it. I don't understand why. I mean, okay, maybe it's gonna get, like, way worse than I am, like, completely comprehending. But so far here, when it snows, the roads are way safer than what I'm used to. Because in Virginia Beach, there's no fucking preparation for it. So the roads are just ice. Like, I'm used to driving on ice, you know? Here, everything's clean by the time I wake up. But maybe it'll get a lot worse, and I'll regret my decision. But we'll find out. Have you dived into the dumpster fire that is the Sonic Forces OCs? No, I have not. Nate just started streaming. Yeah, I knew he was going to do it soon. But, you know, his streams are, he plays video games and shit. You gotta pay individually for him to read your messages. On mine, you just gotta be a general patron of a certain level. Everybody's freaking out. Do you really think winter tires are that important? I won't drive on ice. I don't go anywhere. Like, what am I going to get winter tires for, like, the one day that the roads are kind of icy? Like, I don't know. We'll see. Like, if a day comes that I take out my car and I go, oh shit, road's kind of icy, let me go to the shop and get some winter tires, you know? You guys keep saying you need them. I've never known anyone who has them. I've never met somebody who uses winter tires. If May tells me, May wouldn't even know, but if her dad tells me I need winter tires, please listen to us Northerners, we live here. I mean, how much are they? What do they cost? Where do I get them? Give me any information about what even is a winter tire. Because I drive around all year with my tires fucking, my stupid tire light on anyways. The low tire alarm is constantly on in my car. Because I'm so lazy about filling them back up. I've never been to a tire store. I've never done any car maintenance whatsoever. My dad runs a dealership. Anything that I needed for my car, I just told him to do for me. And, you know, I drive a brand new BMW, on a lease. So, I don't know anything about it. Winter tires have little metal dobs on them so you never slip. They're kind of expensive, but they last for many years. How do I replace them? Do I have to replace them myself? Like, do I have to personally go and fucking install these tires? Because I don't know how to do that. And if I pay somebody else to do it, everyone's going to tell me that I'm getting ripped off. And, like, I'd rather, like, here's my two options. No, three options. The three options are learn how to replace the tires myself, which I don't want to do because I'm going to fuck it up and I'm never going to feel confident that I did it right. Or I can go and get somebody to do the tires for me, but then people will always give me grief for the rest of my life about how I overpaid for something I should have been able to do myself. Or I can just not do it at all and have people grief me about not having winter tires forever. There's no win. This is a no-win situation. There's no win condition in this that I'm satisfied with. You know, May's dad can probably teach me, maybe. I don't know if he does it. I don't know if he'd do it himself. He doesn't seem like a car... Well, okay, he is a car guy because he's a huge IndyCar fan, but I don't know if he actually operates on his own car. I'm taking your driving privileges. I barely even drive. Did you watch the new Super Eye Patch Wolf video? If so, opinions? I did not. I haven't watched one of his in a while. I am completely sick of, like, normal YouTube videos. Like, I'm kind of trying to get off YouTube these days. I'm trying to get off of everything I've been on. Like, I don't want to... let me show you what my Twitter is right now, because I can do that. I'm going to show you what literally Twitter looks like for me right now. Okay. This is my Twitter. I've ad blocked everything but the messages tab. And the only reason I still have that is that Asterios and like some certain like famous YouTubers and stuff, you know, like to communicate through Twitter DMs. And because I still habitually type in Twitter all the time, because it's the worst thing about trying to quit Twitter is that everything else is just a bookmark. And if I delete the bookmark, it disappears from my mind forever. But Twitter and Facebook, I've been physically typing in for years because I never bookmarked them, because I never wanted them to be there, not realizing I was damning myself to an even worse fate of just automatically typing them in. So I go to Twitter all the time and there's nothing there, and I go, oh yeah, I blocked myself from Twitter. I'm trying to get off of Twitter. I'm trying to get off of fucking everything. I want to find a new internet because the current internet is stale and fucking boring, and I want to find a different one. So I'm not watching that many YouTube videos because they're all frankly fucking boring at this point, and I'd rather be watching anime or something. You know, hopefully I'm still entertaining. Because I can't just watch nothing but Digibro all day like some people can. Because I am Digibro. I have to make that stuff. Tire nonsense buried my video idea. Hashtag sadness. Yeah, just repost it. Why is Paw Patrol the best anime? I've never even heard of it. Hey, can you put your Twitter feed on an RSS and that may change it? That's what I did. Can you do that? Can I make it so it will never show me other people's liked tweets? I don't know. I don't get any value out of Twitter anyways. Like, these days, I don't think anyone's Twitter is interesting. Like, the best you can hope for on Twitter is funny shit. Like, that's the best tweets, are funny shit. And even then, the jokes have gotten old. Even drill isn't funny to me anymore. And drill was the funniest shit in the world to me. And now I read it and I'm just like, yeah, okay, that's a drill tweet, you know? Like, I don't know. I don't think Twitter's interesting anymore. If it ever truly was. Thoughts on Atomic Rooster? Never heard of it. Don't insult Paw Patrol when one of the actual creators patron you. I did not insult Paw Patrol. I said I've never heard of it. I did not say a single negative thing about Paw Patrol. I do not know what it is. Twitter RSS feed generator. Publicate.it. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I could add it to my RSS feed, but I don't even check that anymore because all the stuff I follow is fucking boring. That link got me literally nowhere. That link went to a 404 page, but, what did I just do? Yeah, I don't know. I don't know, man. I'd rather just abandon Twitter altogether. I'm pretty tired of it. I will say watching 100% Digibro all day is great. It is out competing anime for me big time. I can't watch anime solo anymore. I need friends for it, because otherwise I just watch you. Yeah, as long as I've got enough fucking stuff coming out, that's always a good method. Just, you know, I can just be your sole content provider. But I mean, like, there are people I could do that with. Like, if Endless Jest put out videos as often as I did, I would watch, obsessively watch everything. If anybody, like, really any of the people I follow who I'm really into, like, I like them for their personalities. So if they put out shit constantly, I'd watch it. But, that's just the kind of guy I am, and that some of you are, but it's not necessarily the general populace. Kashurin Sin's manipulation of the uncanny valley for the sake of character narration by way of aesthetic as narrative. You say hope that makes sense. I don't know what you're talking about at all. I haven't seen Kashurin Sins in 10 years, so I can't even imagine what you mean by that. So, yeah, I don't know what it is. Add me on Switch. I ain't got no Switch. I got a Wii U. I just got a Wii U. Just yesterday. I mean, I had one before, but, I'm caught up to the chat, guys. You gotta start hitting me with shit. Let me tell you what I've been working on today. So, I've been trying to replace all the fucking music on my goddamn phone for literally half a year. Like, before I went on my journey around the country, I had made, like, a perfect iPod playlist of, like, 1,000 songs that are, like, basically my 1,000 favorite songs. Like, it was all good songs. And, I was listening to that all the time while I was on that trip. And I think I ran through the whole thing, like, 3 times in total. And, while I like all these songs a lot, first of all, there are certain bands who have way more songs that I like than others, and so I would end up hearing, like, more of that band that I really wanted to, namely the Deer Hunter and Coheed and Cambria, who I like too many songs by, and I was just kind of flooded with their music, and Mindless Self-Indulgence, and a few others. And then, also, I just got tired of it. So, then, I fucking replaced my phone with the Google Pixel, and it doesn't interface with my car correctly. So all I've been listening to is fucking radio music for a while now, because I don't want to just take my old phone and listen to the same old crap. So I've been meaning to revamp my music library literally the whole time I've been living in Rochester. But it's such an ordeal, because there's so much stuff that I want to add that I haven't actually downloaded yet, and, like, I just want to find, like, every fucking single I've ever enjoyed. So I made this list. I've made a list of music to fill my phone with, and I've listed every artist that has any songs I want on my phone, which goes from this page onto this page onto these pages. Wait, where's the other? There we go. So about three pages blackened with band names. And I'm slowly working through downloading all of them. So, yeah, I'm basically trying to fucking... I've been trying to do this forever, and making a list was finally the way to make it start getting done. Like, once I thought about the idea that I could, like, list all of it out... Because I was trying to go about it, like... I need to download all these bands, but, like, I was just kind of, like, downloading them as I remembered them. So instead I went, okay, let's make a list of every conceivable thing, and then we can figure out which ones we already have and which ones we don't. Go through everything and put it all on there, Okay, now there's more shit. Thought you said on Twitter you got a Switch for $420. No, I said... that a Switch and 2 games is $420, but that for the same price, I bought a Wii U and 12 games and a Pro Controller. I was making fun of people who tell me that I need to get a Switch because it's too expensive and has too few games that cost too much, essentially. Thoughts on the Wii U pad thing controller? I've always loved it. Always thought it was a great idea. Why haven't you visited us Canada boys yet? I cut through Canada once on my way from Michigan to New York, but I mean, what the hell am I going to do in Canada? By wild chance, have you ever seen any Kamen Rider? I've seen the first episode of Kamen Rider Gaim, and that is the only one I've seen so far. By percentage, how much of Aaron's Sonic hate is meme and how much is genuine in your opinion? All of it's genuine, because I share all of it. I hate Sonic every bit as much as Aaron does. I think they're all bad games. I don't think there's ever been a good Sonic game. And I think I've been vocal about that in the past. I'll admit that, like, Sonic 2 and Sonic and Knuckles are, like, conceivably fun, but, and a few other, some of them are conceivably fun, but, like, none of them are just automatically fun. What are your thoughts on Persephone? Never heard of them. Ever consider subscribing to Google Play Music? I have. I mean, I've considered all those streaming services. I just prefer to have my music on my computer so I can easily move it around myself and, like, know where it all is. I don't know. Those services scare me. Like, so that's why I don't use them. I find them all weird, and I don't like any of their UIs. Thoughts on the Buggles? If you've never heard of them, I'll hound you to listen to them until the day I die. I don't think I've heard of them. The name sounds vaguely familiar, but I can't remember. So go ahead and start your hounding, I guess. Okay. Yeah, I don't have Spotify because I don't like it. Will you post a list of it when it's done? I was thinking about it, yeah. I was thinking about taking some, like, once I have all the songs that I'm going to put on my phone in the end, I will post a list for people. About Scarlet City, who is the best character? In that book, the best character... You have to define best. Like, the most interesting character is probably 09. Like, in terms of, like, narrative intrigue. The most fun character is always Dark Holy. I mean, Dark Holy's the one that I basically wrote to be, like myself as a lolly girl or something, you know. She's always fun. So Onryo's pretty good in book 1. Like, even though I don't necessarily like the way I wrote her story, I do think she's an interesting character. And Takasu's pretty good. None of them are great. The book's not amazing. How do you categorize and organize your music? Do you keep playlists by genre, artist, mood? I switch between those. Like, I use Fubar. Here, I'll throw it on screen. I use this, and right now I've got it organized by artist. Sometimes I have it organized by album, depending on, you know, what I'm looking for. I do it by artist more now because I have so many fucking albums that it's a huge pain to go through albums. But, you know, I just click send to current playlist, and it just creates the playlist, and it plays the musics. So, that is my method. Google Play is great at interfaces with the Pixel perfectly. Oh yeah, sure, but the Pixel won't interface with my fucking car, is the problem. The Google Pixel's fucking worthless. And I've been meaning to make a video about it for a while, but I haven't gotten around to it. So I binged Dagashi Kashi Underway, and I really enjoyed it, even laughed out loud for several times. You think if you watch it, understanding what the joke is, that makes it less meh. Because if I remember right, you thought it was meh. Yeah, I thought it was meh. I don't know. I like, did I not understand what the joke was? The joke is that it's candy, right? Like, I don't know, you have to explain to me what the joke is. Implying any of its $20 patrons are broke boys. Yeah, that's kind of fair. I private all my shit and make my own playlists. Same. How many old movies you got left? Moving to the 90s movies after these or early 2000s stuff? I am not even close to done with 70s and 80s movies. There is a lot. So I can pirate a bunch of stuff then add to my phone through Spotify. Any worries about the fact that the Wii U isn't making any games anymore, but Switch is getting new games constantly, especially the new Pokemon? No, that's exactly why I bought it. Because what I realized, I had this amazing revelation, and you'll all hear this again next year in another recording where I go on about this. But this is the best thing I ever realized. So I was standing in GameStop, and they have the Wii U shelf, and I was looking at the games. And the main reason I hadn't bought a Wii U is that even that console didn't have that many games I wanted, you know? But I'm standing there staring at it, and I pick out, like, all the games that I wanted for it. This is before I went to go buy one. And I'm just, like, looking at them, I'm like, there's a game I kind of want, there's a game I kind of want. And then it suddenly hits me, the console is complete. The console is totally complete. So that means I could go in and buy the console and every game that I have any interest in all at once and never have to worry about it again. I will just have a complete Wii U library. And that's basically what I did. I went out and I bought the console and 12 games. So, like, everything that I wanted to play on the Wii U that I hadn't played yet, or didn't already own, I now have. And like with like 2 or 3 exceptions of games I was kind of interested in but didn't feel like throwing down for them. And I'll probably just get those once I'm done with these games. So I can literally, probably within like a year, because there's not that many games, I can play through all of the Wii U library. Like, I can just sit down and play every game I'm interested in and then be like, I completed this console. It's done. There's no more Wii U to be played. And it's because it's such a small library and it's so available because it just went out, you know? So, like, the games are starting to get a little cheap, but they haven't started getting rare yet. So, like, it's very easy to pick up a console and all the games. And I was like, oh, man, this is a beautiful thing that I've done. So, yeah, that's why I bought it. The Switch getting new games constantly? What the fuck are you talking about? New Pokemon in 2019? That ain't no constantly. The Switch has nothing I want to play on it. Nothing. I've looked through the library. There's not a single game that is exclusive to the Switch that I am interested in playing at all. None. The only game I even wanted to play was Breath of the Wild, and I just bought it on Wii U. So, like, I don't know why people are hyped for the Switch at all. I also don't think the controller is good. I don't like it at all. It's not my kind of thing. Thoughts on Neil Young? Never listened to it. Him. How much schadenfreude does the loot box scandal give you when you play only old games and don't care about new shit? Man, I feel I fucking had to install updates on the goddamn Wii U. I'm still mad. Like, you know, I mean, I would probably never play a game with loot boxes in it. Like, that, just that style of game. The kind of game that would have that would not be a type of game I'd probably play, you know? Do you know any good anime with submarines as a highlight? I want to go maximum dig it in my underway anime viewing. Yeah, Blue Submarine number 6, as Wada said. There's also Submarine 707R, I think is a show. I think that's a thing. And Hideaki Anno, like, directed the OP of it or some shit like that. Yamato's not a submarine. Oh, fucking Nadia, The Secret of Blue Water. A lot of that show takes place in a submarine. It's really good. But if you watch it with a warning that there's about 12 episodes in the later part of the show that completely ruin it, and you should just skip those entirely. Find a guide. Are you going to the gym or anything? Not currently. Supposed to be. May and I were going for a little bit. She's someone who normally goes to the gym all the time, but since she started school and work, she hasn't had time, and because I've been, you know, I've been entertaining her at home, she has not been bored enough to go to the gym, and she's getting antsy about it. But you know, I'm thinking we're gonna start going back once she's out of work. Who's the cutest magical girl, and why is it Sakura Kinomoto? I don't know. I don't know why she's so fucking cute. Thoughts on Kraftwerk? I haven't listened to much of them. Not a big fan. I think they're you know, they're fine. Has me using an alarm clock been fucking with you? I doubt you share daytimes fully. Nope. It does not wake me up. We use Amazon Echo for the alarm, and it's never woken me up before. Because by the time she gets up, I've like only been in bed for 2 hours, and I'm in like really deep sleep. Since you're in Rochester, have you been to any Tim Hortons yet? What are your thoughts? Tim Hortons is pretty great, honestly. Like, I mean, in terms of comparing it to other food I could eat, it's mediocre. But in terms of comparing it to other fast food restaurants, I would say it's one of the best fast food restaurants. I was really impressed with it. I always get the bacon and chicken, what the fuck is it? It's like a chicken bacon panini. It always fucking falls apart on me, but it tastes really good. I like the Timbits a whole lot. Tim Hortons is pretty solid. It's definitely one of my favorite. It has made me less it eased me through losing out on a lot of other fast food restaurants that I'm used to having, you know? Can you drop any information about your secret podcast series to us wonderful special people? No. Because it will never get done if I say anything. It's way too early in the process. I shouldn't even be mentioning it as much as I have been. And you shouldn't get hyped for it. Because its intention is not to be good. Do you or May ever check out the porn channel on the Discord? Nope. I mean, she might, but I don't really go anywhere other than discussing digi content unless I'm real fucking bored. Anything Mimi laying around you can review for fun. Mimi. I almost glanced over this and then I was like, wait, he said Mimi. We've got a jug of Utz cheese balls here. And for those of you who've been following my Twitter for a long time, you may have seen my tweet video about how to eat Utz cheese balls, which is that you take the lid and you form it into a taco shape, and you scoop however many cheese balls you think you can fit in your mouth, usually about 5. 5's a good solid bet. Oh, don't put it in your mouth like that. You always want enough cheese balls that they're evenly distributed across both sides of your mouth. And the reason you do that is because if you get it on your fingers, it's fucking disgusting. Now they're all on my teeth. That wasn't really a review. They're good. I like cheese balls a lot. I found out because I've been eating them much slower than I used to. It takes about 2 weeks for them to go stale. And after that point, you should not continue eating them. Maybe 3 weeks. What's your biggest non-internet distraction when you're working? Mine is needing to go to the bathroom so much because I drank too much Mountain Dew. That is a good distraction. I don't really get distracted when I'm working. Like, when I work, I go into a fucking zeroed-in zone. Like, if I was distracted, I would just consider that not working. Like, I will just not do work if I'm going to go do something else. Like, if I'm going to work, it has to be one big concentrated burst. First impressions of Kamen Rider Gaim. No, you know what? It wasn't Gaim. Why did I say Gaim? That's the one by fucking... That's the one by, that's way more recent. Kamen Rider Decade was the one I saw the first episode of. Not fucking Gaim. It just came to mind because it's like the more popular recent one. Regarding Switch, what's your opinion on Doom being on it? Cool. Everybody should play Doom. That game's fucking amazing. Doesn't make me want to Switch since I already have it on the PS4. How can we expect content to be scheduled around the holiday? Should I prepare a week or so of slowing down while you have to spend time with May's family? You should expect everything to slow down from now on. I am trying to change my content to be not as much about frequency and more about quality. So I would say expect that from this point forward, because the last few days there was like some scheduled shit came out, but like from today forward, Do not expect as much content from me as you are used to. Expect it to get better, though. And it won't get better immediately. It also won't even slow down immediately. But expect less. But, like, not, like, a ton less, you know? Just less than the insane rate that I currently work at. You were pretty positive on Doom. How about Wolfenstein? I haven't played the new Wolfenstein games yet. They look pretty good. Thoughts on Pink Floyd? Additionally, have you listened to them high yet? I have not had the chance to listen to them high yet. I do like me some Dark Side of the Moon. I like the singles from The Wall. I like Animals a whole lot. Those are the only ones I've like listened to a considerable amount of. I've heard Wish You Were Here. I'm not that into it. So mostly the ones I just said are the ones I care about. Did Hippo succeed in Germany? I don't know. I don't even know if he knows. What is the best Hippo content? I mean, I really love his fucking vlogs, especially like the weird experimental ones. Like, that's what I get down with the most, but I also really love the main, like, you know, fully realized hypocrite videos. Did you like Timmy's? He's now an honorary Canadian, yeah. Are there any Western films you think would have been better as anime? No. No. I can't think of any. I've never had that thought before. This cheeseball segment needs to go on my top 100 Digimon moments lists. Yeah, go ahead. Do you know how much May lurks in the Discord? She responds when we add her, so we know she's at least attentive of it. I think she lurks quite... I mean, not, like, often, but, like, when she's really bored. Like, May basically goes to work and then into school, and when she's at home, she and I are hanging out, and neither of us really checks the internet when we're hanging out. And whereas I'm awake when she's in bed, she doesn't spend that much time awake while I'm in bed, because I usually sleep through her work. So, like, I would say the only time she probably checks Discord is, like, on her lunch break, and I don't know how much of it she reads, but probably a lot. She usually generally knows what, like, if people have been talking about her. I think she probably Control-F's her name as well, because that's the type of person she is. More detailed thoughts on Shin Godzilla other than just good? No, because I haven't seen it again. So this is the end of Human Content Machine era? No, I wouldn't say that. The Human Content Machine era started off way the fuck slower than it's gotten. Like, the Human Content Machine era was not a, like, incessant daily deluge of videos when it began, and not nearly as much long-form shit, you know? I think it'll go back to what it was when I first started the Human Content Machine, but even then, it'll be more than that, because the videos that I'm doing on, like, the main channel will be way longer. So it'll be a happy medium between those. I don't think anybody will be disappointed by the way I'm planning to do things. The only person who could potentially be disappointed is Wada, because of the sheer amount of my content that he occupies his day with. But for the most part, I think people will be really happy with the way it goes. Decade is a terrible first impression. Guy was made by Gunabuchi, so I think you'd love it if you had the time. Yeah, I know a lot of stuff about Kamen Rider. I know which ones are popular and everything, because I know a lot of Toku guys, but I just haven't found time for Toku in my life. If you slow down content seriously, I think we might need to slow down Fading the Content Machine. That should be good, though. Opens up far more specialized Digibro analysis content. Yeah, I think that'll probably happen. I mean, I think with I'm sure I've said this before, but with my content, when I say what I'm planning to do, it usually takes a lot longer for that to eventuate than people seem to think it will. Like, when I say, oh, I'm going to be doing this from now on, like, people think that's immediate. And really, I mean, like, when I've exhausted what I'm doing now and when I've fully figured out what that's going to be, you know? So I think a lot of what I'm going to be doing is stuff that people kind of expected to happen at some point before. But I don't want to try to explain too much, you know? I'm trying to become a more mysterious person. So, you know, I'm not going to give everything away. Do you have any experience with Bionicle or know about the lore? I don't know about the lore. I grew up with Bionicle. It was kind of after my time. My brother Victor was big into it for a little while, and I remember playing the stupid fucking PC-ROM games that were just like exploring the island or whatever. But I did not actually read any of the lore behind it. Who should I listen to if you're giving less content? Listening to your podcast and Let's Plays while I work are great. Oh man. Here, I'll tell you everything I listen to. I listen to The Dick Show religiously. I listen to, obviously there's the PCP podcast, Vic and Hope, which I enjoy a lot. I know it's not for everybody, and right now their audio is insufferable for the last few videos, but I've been listening to it anyways. Anthony Fantano of The Needle Drop. I listen to Hip Hop DX, and they do these like radio show uploads that are on the longer side, but not super frequent. Fucking Red Letter Media and Previously Recorded do longer form videos. Weagawa is longer. And then I've also been meaning to get into the McElroy brothers, which are these three brothers who have like ass tons of content out there that's like comedy shit, and Film Crit Hulk is like a huge fan of them. And I listened to the like some random episode of their podcast, My Brother and Me, last night, and it was pretty fucking funny. I don't know how much like my style it is, because it's basically just comedy, but like it's pretty good. So I might give some of that more of a listen. And I know they've got a shit ton of content out there. Like, they are definitely a content machine of some sort. Okay. Blah, 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 blah. What side of the D&D debate between Tom and Ben do you fall on? 100% Ben. I think this debate spawned from me and Ben talking about how we hated D&D on, like, things we can't get into or something like that. And then Tom, like, I guess re-listened to that episode. Like, Tom's been catching up on the PCP, and I think he had listened to that, and just like that was what inspired his rant. I suddenly had a huge craving for sitting in my car reviewing food Digibro content. I've thought about doing that many times, but I just don't like the car as a setting to eat food, you know? I'd prefer to do it at a table or something. How many hours do you sleep for per day? Anywhere from 6 to 12, depending on the day. Review Digibra, the new report of the week. Don't know what you're talking about. Apologies, VNCs, before I was underway for months. Your content is probably going to slip through the cracks. That's fine. Opinion on Transformers? You know, I don't think it's any different from anyone else's opinion on Transformers. Were you ever a Lego boy as a kid? Not really. Like, we had Legos, but I was never hugely into them. Do you ever send voicemails into the Dick Show? Yes, I've sent, like, probably, like, 8, and none of them have ever gotten played. They're never funny enough. I get the impression he gets fuck tons of voicemails, and that he actually saves a lot of them, but never gets to play them on the show. So, you know, it's not easy to get your voicemail played on the Dick Show. There's a lot of random chance and luck involved. But also, mine are probably just not that funny. Thoughts on Richie Blackmore's Rainbow? Never heard of it. Favorite posters right now? I mean, the fucking Ghost in the Shell one's always my favorite. I think that is like an aesthetically perfect poster. I don't think you can really do any better than that. The one that's on the back of my door. I'm sure you know what it looks like, because I've had several videos about it. The Gwenpool poster's pretty good. This Lucky Star one here. This Lucky Star one's pretty solid. I like the colors on it a lot. So yeah, I'd say it's definitely still the Ghost in the Shell one. That's been my favorite ever since I bought it. I haven't put up any new posters that I've gotten recently. Speaking of Digi, is there anything submarines or Navy you're curious about for whatever reason? Ask. Nope, I have no curiosity about submarines or the Navy. My dad was in the Navy, though I don't think he ever served on a submarine. He was in the Navy for 6 years, when I was before and during me being a baby. Are there any manga you've read for Manga Mondays that turned out to not have a lot to talk about? Yes, I'm thinking about doing a video on them, like a roundup of ones that I didn't have much to say about. Like, I've probably got 1, 2, 3. I've definitely got enough for a roundup video on them. So that might happen. How is Hentai Samurai doing? Hentai Samurai is having a great time. Hentai Samurai is incubating on something, I think. I think Hentai Samurai's got lofty ambitions. I think he's a man who tested he tested the waters, he tipped his foot in the waters of making analytical content online to see how it would go, and now he's actually buckling down to try to figure out what he's going to do with his newfound internet career. Thoughts on Oingo Boingo? Pretty cool. I only really know the album Dead Man's Party, but I like that album. I like about half the songs on that album. Like the first two and track 4 and the final song. Those are all great. Have any tips on fixing a sleep schedule? Stay up super late. Like what I do if my schedule gets too out of whack, I just stay up all night and then pass out at the normal time that I want to. So like let's say the other day, on the day before Thanksgiving, I woke up at 5 p.m., which was outrageous. I had slept for like 12 whole hours, and it was fucking ridiculous. And May and I had to go to Thanksgiving dinner the next day, and she was working that night. So basically, I came into bed at like 7 a.m., and she was like waking up. And so we decided to just try to do the whole day. Like I'm just going to stay up until basically I'm too tired to continue. So we just basically like got high and drank alternately that morning, and then she kind of calmed down. I continued drinking all day. Like I stayed high and drunk through all of Thanksgiving, whereas she had to sober up and go to work. But I stayed up till like probably 9 and finally passed out. So that's how I fixed my sleep schedule. Now it's back to what it was before. Thoughts on Ronnie James Dio? I've never listened to much of Ronnie James Dio. Has the Hentai Samurai gotten a girlfriend recently? Yes. Hentai Samurai has had a wife for the whole time that he's been around. Hentai Samurai is a married man. That is definitely an integral part of the lore of Hentai Samurai. But you'll probably meet his wife one day. Anything you want to know about the animation industry? I def answer anything that doesn't break NDAs and threatens my job. Nothing I can think of in particular at the moment. Is there any online or other place you recommend for buying manga? Because Barnes & Noble / BAM have shit selection. Amazon. Amazon has everything that I can, like, Amazon's got pretty much everything that you're going to find anywhere. Thoughts on The Darkness? I believe I got now. I love that song, and get your hands off of my woman, motherfucker. But those are the only songs I really know by them. Will Ecchi Kunoichi ever be a thing? No. And do not try to guess the name of Hentai Samurai's wife. You will learn when the time comes. Thoughts on the pillows? I like the Fufuli Coolie soundtrack a lot. Haven't really listened to that other shit. Kebab, yay or nay? Like just the meat. It's good. We had May and I. This is a good story. May and I we're on our last grocery trip. I was like, dude, because we always get the wrong shit. We always like try to get dinners and stuff, and then we never want to make them. I was like, let's just get like basic shit that we could eat at home when we're high, and like for meals we'll go out to eat. You know, we'll just get like a couple meals for home. But let's do half our grocery shopping at the normal grocery store, and the other half at like an Asian international market. You know, and she was like, yeah, let's do it. So there's an international market right next to Hammer Girl Anime. The anime store that we go to. So we went to Hammer Girl, and I'm thinking, like, we'll go there, and then we'll go to the Asian grocery. we go to the store, but it's not an Asian grocery store. It's like a Middle Eastern and like well, it was like mostly like Hungarian or something like that. It was Turkish. It was like mostly Turkish food. And then like other like stuff from that area, like Mediterranean food. And it was super strange, and we didn't know what anything was, and we were afraid to buy anything except for the freezer foods. And they had like freezer kebab rolls that are basically just like taquitos, except for it's like a flour tortilla around a big piece of kebab meat. And they were surprisingly good. They were okay. So, yeah. So how's the $25 patron song coming along? Man, I will do it it's so hard to find like time to do that because I can't really do it at night since I'm trying to sing a song, you know? And then I tend to book my days and mornings, and I just haven't remembered at the right time. I need to set aside time for it. I feel like it was a mistake to have ever offered it in the first place, but because it's just kind of a hassle. But I will try to get it done before the month is over. We need Digi to do a cover album of Permission to Land. I've heard of that album, but I don't remember who it's by. Have you ever considered reviewing music videos as part of your work in music? Yes. In fact, I kind of did. My video on the Delgados versus Daniel Powder. The video, I don't remember what it's called, but I did one. I did a music video analysis video. Skinny fries or thick fries? Skinny fries all day. No fucking thick fries. I'd love to see Digi reviewing music videos. Yeah, I've done it. And I totally don't have a list I'd want him to talk about either. Thoughts on Whitesnake? Never listened to him. Why did you and Munchie steal my dad? I want him back. You can't have him. Write the song at night, sing it the next day. I don't write these songs. I just literally read off names to the tune of a song. But it's a matter of like... I'll get to it. Don't worry about it. Thoughts on Hawkwind? Never heard of it. Permission to Land is the Darkness album with the songs you know. Okay, I see. I'm memeing, don't worry about it. I'd be down if $25 got changed to something lower maintenance. That's not even a bad idea. I could probably just make it something else. Because I expected it to be really easy. And then when I did it the first time, it was just a little bit more complicated than I expected. So, you know. And it's just like, I don't know. It's just kind of a pain in the ass. But I'll do one more, and then I'll talk about maybe changing it to something else that will be equally fun. But easier for me to accomplish. I know I love your analysis of the music video for My Chemical Romance's Na Na Na. I don't even know that song, and I don't know if I want to know that song. Shaved or unshaved? You can interpret this question any way you want. Depends on the gender. Thoughts on AC/DC? Not really into them at all. Final burst people, like 15 minutes left, I feel. It'll be over fucking now if y'all don't think of enough fucking questions. Who are your mains in every fighting game you've played? Hold on. Let me get out my fucking... I made a graphic for this. I have a graphic of my names. I made one for me and one for my friend Brandon Tolentino, who's a big fighting game boy. It should be in my image folder somewhere. So let me track down my fighting mains. I basically covered every game that I have a main in. Like, there's other fighting games I've played and never played enough to actually have a main. Okay, I found Brandon's roster, but where the hell's my roster? There we go. Okay. Okay. Here's my fighting mains. In Street Fighter, I main Cammy because I like to... Basically, all these characters are exactly the same, the way they play. But Cammy in Street Fighter, Slayer in Guilty Gear, Misfortune in Skullgirls, Keelik in Soul Calibur, though I would pick Sung Mina in Soul Calibur 2. I think that's like the only one she's even fucking in. Samus in Super Smash Bros. And Kirino in Dengeki Bunko Fighting Climax. These are the fighting games that I can perform in well enough to have a main, though I would also add in, because I probably hadn't played it yet at the time I made that chart, BlazBlue, the pink-haired girl, the pink-haired girl with the lollipop in her mouth. I don't remember her fucking name, but she would also be my main from BlazBlue. So yeah, those are they. Those are characters I am competent enough to fight the average person. None with which I could compete with anyone slightly trying. Thoughts on the crazy world of Arthur Brown? Never heard of it. Have you ever called May mommy during sex? Or has May called you daddy? Well, the first one, a few times. The second one, every time. And also throughout most of the day. Thoughts on Trans-Siberian Orchestra? Never listened to them. In Mario Kart, do you go for spot 1 to get a big lead, or do you go to spot 2 to dodge blue shells? This is the best personality test. Spot 1, I don't want to have to fucking think while I'm playing Mario Kart. The fact that their shells even exist is why Mario Kart is not my favorite racing game. Do you think cooking is art? It can be, I suppose. Thoughts on Blue Oyster Cult? Never listened to him. Who's the hottest girl in fighting games? Coolest guy works too. Hottest girl in fighting games. Hottest girl in fighting games. I mean, probably like the girls from Dead or Alive. Like the two mains. They're pretty fucking hot. I can't think of anybody else who's quite as hot as them, because they're not even really designed to be like most of the time fighting games try to make the girls look like they could fight. That game is just a bunch of hot chicks who happen to be able to fight, you know. Coolest guy in a fighting game, Slayer from fucking Guilty Gear. Hell yeah. Any character in Guilty Gear. Any character in Guilty Gear is the coolest character. Thoughts on Queen? I like Bohemian Rhapsody a lot. I like their singles in general, but I haven't listened to that much Queen. How do you think compression should be done in Audacity? I don't understand the settings. I literally just click on the compression button and hit OK. That's all I do. I don't try to fuck with the settings at all. I just hit OK, and it works fine. Thoughts on Steely Dan? I'm a big fan. The first Can't Buy a Thrill and Aja are my two favorites. All of their original albums are pretty solid. Their reunion stuff's fine too, but it's not memorable. Since you fuck a lot, what's become your preferred position? How did you like to beat that thing up? I imagine you in the mating press category. I do all of them, but being a cowgirl is my favorite. That's the standard go-to. It's always good. Cowgirl's always a good position. That's definitely the most frequent that we go for. But you know, I do everything. I can do everything. Who would be my main in Street Fighter? My favorite characters in other games are Chip, X23, ZZS, and Valentine. Basically, just slightly faster than the characters I play. Whoever's faster than Cammy. I don't know Street Fighter well enough, but maybe like Blanca even. I don't know. He might be more complicated than what you're playing, but I think he's a fast boy. I'm not sure. I don't know the game well enough. Thoughts on Red Hot Chili Peppers? I dig them. I grew up with them. They're, household staple, so they're good. In the PCP, you call each other by online names. Do you tend to do that off camera too, other than Ben and Nate and Tom? Yes. Whatever we call each other in the PCP is exactly what we call each other offline. Everybody calls me Digi. I think it would be weird if they didn't, TBH. Thoughts on Mongolian throat singing? Never listened to any of it. Ever consider legally changing your name to Digibro? No. That is horrifying. To me, someone calling me Digibro is meant to be a sign to me that they're not someone from my personal life. Best plushies you own. Probably my Hello Kitty plushie and my Keto-chan from Cardcaptor Sakura plushie. Quick, grab the first thing to your right. Can you review it? It's Mountain Dew. It's, it hasn't quite gone flat yet. It's very warm, but not too warm. It just kind of tastes like carbonation and sugar. So I guess I like it. What dead artists do you miss? Are there any who, like... I don't know if there's any dead artists who I'm like, oh my god, like, I'm so mad he's dead because I wanted more. Satoshi Kon. Satoshi Kon is a perfect example of a guy who I think had a lot of master work left in him, and he died way too fucking young. Who in your life still calls you by IRL name? All of my family. May, rather. I called her that because I was thinking about the fact that she calls me my real name. May calls me Conrad. You've probably heard her say it in the Digi and May 2 videos. So yeah, anybody in my family, essentially. And all my IRL friends, but I don't talk to them anymore. Is the last Plebe Weeb going to be on the same level as Horseshoe Finale? No, it will not be similar to that at all. It will mostly just be another episode of the Plebe and the Weeb, except it's got like a kind of fun, denouement, if you will. Peanut or pretzel M&Ms? I don't really like either. Pretzel, I guess. Thoughts on Black Sabbath? I've only ever really listened to Paranoid, but I like it a lot. I've been meaning to listen to all their other albums. That's something that's on my to-do list, but I like Paranoid. When, if Ben, getting Infinite Jest back? Whenever we next see each other, I guess. When are Vic and Hope going to fix their damn mics? I don't know. I mean, they record sessions, so probably they recorded 4 episodes that all sound like shit. So, wait like at least 3 days. Do you think there's such a thing as second wave edge, where you grow out of being an edgelord but are able to come back to it later because you're not an emo? Yes, I am a second wave edge, I think. I guess Plebe Weeb S2 is dead. Are the 3 eps you filmed on the road trip ever seeing daylight? Yeah, they're all coming out. Why would you guess that they were dead? Like, what gave you that impression? Nothing anyone has said would have suggested that. No, it's fine. There will be the next season. We've recorded 4 episodes, not 3, but I don't know when we'll film the other 6. But hopefully before too long. I mean, Jesse and I only live 5 hours apart, if we cut through Canada, so there's a chance one of us will go to the other's house and finish it up. Anything you've been up to other than the music list that you want to talk about? Not really. Not other than that and the Black Friday sales I went on yesterday. Aside from projects I don't want to share, I've just been sitting around getting high. And it's been great. Because you said Jess concluded Plebe Weeb his final responsibility internet first in the stream. Yeah, I didn't say just this season. No. Yeah, 4 episodes have been filmed so far. He wants to film the whole... I think he wants to finish all of the Plebe and the Weeb. But he also does not himself know what the Kickstarter... Like, Jesse never, fucking, actually read what the Kickstarter is and, rewards are and, what it's all about. And that's why, certain things have happened. He never knew that there was any kind of schedule that had been written out, which, in fairness, I had forgotten as well. But, he keeps being look, I didn't know this shit. This was all sprung on me. Favorite old, meaning 1985 or older bands that care still making music, are you a fan of? I think you meant are still making music. I think you just slipped a C in there. Old bands that still make shit. 1985 or older. And they still make good stuff. Not applicable. I can't think of one. Enjoyment of a work is 100% subjective, but technical skill is objective. Agree or disagree? I could argue both. I think that technical skill, like you can say that this guy is capable of doing this type of work and this guy's not, but you can't say which one's better, you know? Like, if I am way into the aesthetic of 5-year-old kids' drawings, then I can't say that they are worse at drawing just because they cannot do a thing that another guy can do. And most people have some kind of specialization. I don't think there's a lot of people out there who could just reproduce anyone's style, you know? So it's hard to say what is even considered technical work, technical superiority. Favorite Plebe episode so far? I mean, probably, if we're counting the first season as well, I don't know. I don't know what my favorite one is. Probably episode 2 of season 2, just because of all the musical segments. Those shits are fucking incredible. But, I mean, they're all great. Is High Diaz dead? Probably. It's not worth the amount of, like, retarded shit that surrounds it to continue doing it. Like, I'd rather just put those ideas in other videos and not address them as being High Diaz, because clearly people can't deal with that. If you can't have restaurant pizza, what is the best frozen option? There's no good frozen option. I will not eat a frozen pizza. I will just go get a restaurant pizza. Thoughts on Iron Maiden? They're pretty dope. I like Number of the Beast for the most part. Thoughts on Baby Metal? I did a whole video about Baby Metal with Anthony Fantano about 1.5 years ago. So go watch that for 45 minutes of me and Fantano talking about Baby Metal. Is right now the most pushback you've gotten in your YouTube or internet career? The weed thing, the comments, Mario, etc., all back to back? No. The most pushback I've ever gotten is the end of the My Little Pony era. But this is definitely up there on pushback scale. Just because it's a bunch of things all back to back, you know? And really, the only reason there's so much pushback is because of the Mumkey thing. Because it's Mumkey's fans who are exacerbating all of it. So, yeah, it's sort of a big combo. Would you ever be on the PCB Drawcast? You can kind of draw better than Nate for sure. I was on the first 2. I just keep missing them. Like, I just am not around when people are organizing shit enough. What are your thoughts on all the meme server emotes we've made for the server? I don't really pay attention to them. Emotes and stuff like that, just, like, I don't process them, really. Like, I don't notice they're happening. Do you like Chicago-style pizza? No. Not the ones I've had, anyway. If there's a good version of it, I haven't had it. Not even Totino's? No, I don't like Totino's. I do not like any frozen pizza. I think they are all garbage. There's definitely, like, a gradient, but I don't care to find it, because I've had most of them, and I hate all of them. But, it's like finding the gradient between a 1 and a 5. Like, who cares, you know? I had to make a whole, the Pizza Risk Wars Sucks series. Alright, I've run to the end of the questions, and I'm thinking it's about time to wrap up. Since we're at almost 2 hours. That's about what we do. I've got other shit to do. My eyes are searing out of my fucking skull. Why is the anime community so toxic? Every community is toxic. Honestly, I don't think the anime community is that bad. I think that they are better than most. The gaming community is vastly more toxic. Where's your rom-com question, Stitch? I don't even see it. There it is. Any gooey, sweet rom-coms where the characters satisfyingly get together? Yeah, Kare Kano, Toradora, Momokuri. All 3 of those. Those are all great shows. Alright. What is this one? What drugs have I tried, really want to try? Just the ones I've talked about. I haven't tried any others. Alright, everybody. That's it for the stream. See you later.